everyone, it's Karen again, and I'm so excited for today's presentation. It's on one of my favorite things to talk about, and that is toxic positivity. I refer to it as blissniness, and that's just a word I use. A lot of people laugh at that. I certainly did when I first heard of it, but it perfectly illustrates what it really is about, and that is getting all hepped up about positive thinking and then projecting that stuff, that positive garbage on everybody and everything, using it as a blanket cover over what's happening in their consciousness. It's a way of trying to hide from their real feelings, which they are avoiding with positive platitudes. It's toxic. It's one of the most, you talk about COVID, this is more prevalent than COVID, more deadly. It destroys lives. It really does. And I get all emotional when discussing this subject because it is so prevalent in our world of LOA. Hi, Jean. Hi, Monica. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Danette. Hi, Gina. My gosh, you guys are all here. Okay, so what it equates to is lack of personal integrity. I want to go through that. When I started this many, many years ago, almost 45 years ago, I was a dweeb. I was young. I was always smiling, always thinking that I'm supposed to put on a positive face and rescue everybody from their negativity. Boy, did I have a lot to learn. So I made a lot of promises based on positivity. I mean, after all, we're supposed to have exactly what we want, and we can create it just with our thoughts. Wrong. I lacked personal integrity. I had no conviction. And so, again, I used toxic positivity to cover it up, blanket it over, and I turned tail and ran and hid. And then came out again and with a smile on my face and greeted the world again with more positive bullshit. Excuse my language, but that's the way it is. Our movement, law of assumption, or law of attraction, if you want to broaden it, positivity is the kryptonite. It destroys our integrity in the world. People say, oh, you're doing nothing but positive thinking. Yeah, you can have whatever you want. I've heard that many times. Why is my life? I was really positive most of my life. Why is it a mess? And so they turn a deaf ear, they walk away, and we look like fools. And we are fools when we just cover everything up and we put the blanket of positive affirmations on top of everything, and we don't really look at what we're thinking or feeling down deep inside and turn that around and heal it. Whenever we're communicating our consciousness, we're communicating our total consciousness. And when we manifest, it manifests our total thoughts. It doesn't just manifest a man writing it on, or a specific person coming into our life, dropping in our laps, and being blissful with them. It contains all of the unhealed parts of us that we didn't see. Why? Because we're positive thinking ourselves to death. We're shouting the ego down, the old man down, and we are avoiding our healing by doing that. Please don't do that. Please don't. I am extremely sensitive. I'm an intuitive, very strong one. And when people come on the boards, or I work with somebody who always wants me to have a wonderful day, and isn't it wonderful, and life is wonderful. I'm going, oh my God, what are they covering up? And I just want to slap them. Okay, that's where I use the term bliss-ninniness. So guys, please listen to this presentation and take it to heart. There's also a form of this where people discuss 4D, fourth dimension, all of their aspirations, all of their visions, as though it's 3D. That's the same thing, okay? Do not do that. Do not discuss 4D as though it's fact. Don't discuss it. Keep that within yourself until you can show us that you have the car or the ring on your finger. Anytime I catch somebody doing that, I call them on it. And I said, okay, let me see the title of the car. Let me see the ring on your finger. Do you have wedding pictures? And they just avoid answering, which just gets me more interested in whether they're doing 3D or 4D. Live within yourself in your desired state, okay? That's true. But don't brag about it, okay? You're trying to get kudo points ahead of the fact. And that, again, leads to lack of personal integrity. I will smell it. And other people get the double consciousness that you're involved in. They won't take you seriously, and you'll fall flat on your face. Killing people with kindness is another way of using toxic positivity. When you meet up with somebody who triggers you and you don't want to express it and you don't know what to do, you just run them over with positive affirmations, and you give them compliments, and you tell them how wonderful they are for showing up in your life and bringing this challenge to you. Oh my God, no, do not do that, okay? Yes, everybody is part of your, Lee, thank you very much. Love the topic. I do too. Pardon me, guys. Okay, so if somebody is triggering you, have the self-honesty to admit it to yourself. If you don't want to confront them about that, that's fine, but at least be honest with yourself and deal with the expression of an issue that's inside of you. Don't blame them, okay? They're just actors in your script. So I want you, when you're confronted with an issue, whether it's a situation or with a person, do not change it. Revision is another way of you using, not using, but playing out toxic positivity. I'm going to redo my entire life. It's going to be so blissful. Oh, isn't it wonderful? Thank you, Father. I had the best mother and the best father and the best of everything. Oh, my Lord. Don't do that. You manufacture in the moment through your imagination what you think your past was, for a darn good reason, for the lessons that you need to see in that, for the communication of the mind into your imagination and imagining that it was your past. As an example, I had a really shitty ex. I don't make him into a saint, okay? By anyone's account, he was not a saint. Okay, all the therapists say, boy, was he a shit ass. Yeah, he was. Pardon me. Yes, he was. I don't revise him. I use him as a mirror for that part of me he reflects. And I got to the point long ago where I came to terms with the fact that he was me pushed out. And boy, was that earth-shattering to me. And anytime I think of him, it's thinking of me, that part of me that's unhealed. And then he truly is a saint to me. He's my savior. He saved so many lifetimes just by being in my life twice. Okay? So please don't pretend. And that's what toxic positivity is all about. Okay? Do not. We get tired of hearing about it. All of us moderators, we hear it every single day. And we are tired of it. Okay? How about just waking up one morning, getting on the board and said, you know what? I feel like crap. That would make more points with me especially than anyone else, than anything else. Okay? I want you to be real. Be authentic. If you don't like somebody, tell them that. Maybe not so directly, but I do. I don't mess around. You may not be able to get away with that, and that's just fine. But don't stay there thinking that they are your best buddy, because they might be a real narcissist who just wants somebody to beat up. And I eat those type of people up for breakfast almost every day. Yum. So going on. I had a question, one that I just love, and it was from Cynthia. Thank you, Cynthia. And she said, I can see this in people who use spiritual platitudes. Am I right or wrong? Do people use God as a way of plastering holy comments on the world to brighten up what they're seeing, which is dark? And believe me, that is the truth. So it's not just, oh, have a wonderful day. Wasn't Friday's heat wave of 105 so refreshing? Blah, blah, blah. Okay? And also, the good Lord has given corn a heat wave so it can just grow and be tender and succulent. And we are so blessed by the Lord. And isn't he merciful and wonderful in our lives? Same thing, guys. Same thing. Different words. Okay? It's not the form, it's the content. When people use God as a band-aid onto their faithless, deep-seated thoughts, then they are covering up using positive platitudes in spiritual form, and they're just avoiding, okay? And that's exactly why we do that, to avoid the pain, to avoid the fear of facing the stuff that we hide from, which makes our life miserable. And those are sin, guilt, fear, pain. The two issues before that all started wanting in the myth that I refer to all the time. After in our creation, being imbued with free will and all of the attributes of God the Father Creator, God the Son, ourselves, asked from God the Father special favor. He couldn't grant it because he would be making part of the whole special. And so we rebelled. We withdrew. We abandoned God in heaven in our imagination. It didn't really happen, guys, but we are deeply embedded in the idea we did. And we, in the Big Bang, made a universe upon universe upon universe of the playing out of not being rejected, which is played out countless number of times in your life, then abandoning God, and we work on an abandonment the same way all the time. And then we set up ourselves as our own authority in our own world, fell into a deep sleep, and we are having a nightmare comprised of the original sin, which is a myth that we can separate from God and our brothers, followed by the guilt of making the decision that we separated from God and everyone else. And then terrified that God is going to find us, strike us dead. And therefore, we fear, we live in holy, unholy terror that we are going to get caught by God if we lift up from our miserable existence and succeed. That's the complete story, guys. And so we tell God, by the way, insert this, no, God, go take a rest. I am going to punish myself. I am going to live a life filled with pain and sorrow. And I am then going to blame it on everybody else. And if that doesn't work, blame it on myself. And I'm going to avoid all that by working in positive thinking and not looking at any of this crap that I'm carrying around with me. So, guys, the picture is bleak. The picture is crap. That's the whole shit and caboodle, okay? Except God in His mercy inserted the answer in Neville's vocabulary revision. Revision, as he taught later on in his teachings, is only revise yourself. Get down to the nuts and bolts, past the positive platitudes in 4D. See what it is that you're thinking, that you're projecting onto your virtual reality that you're living through right now and experiencing. Forgive yourself. And it instantly converts into something beautiful that helps you on the road to riches. Only revise self. There's one of my my first live event was about that subject. Go to my YouTube channel, Mind Dynamics Coaching, and look at all of my videos that are posted there. Now, so there are good guy narcissists that love to make you wrong by telling you how holy they are. And this is the same issue. Don't buy it. Don't fall for the bait. Don't lower yourself to raise them up. Okay? Just give them the hand and walk away or whatever, or laugh in their face. I have a tendency of doing both. I laugh in their face and I ghost those type of people. Okay? Now, I don't know if you guys read the book Brave New World. It ties into this subject really well. In it, a heathen Indian walked into a future society that was far advanced from where we're at. Everybody was perfect. Everybody was happy because they consumed soma. It was their drug of choice. And everybody took soma. The Indian did not. And he couldn't fathom what was going on in this world where everybody was drugged. Everybody was happy. Happy, happy, happy. That's what this does to you guys. Positive thinking is just a drug. toxic positivity. Now, I'm one who loves, honestly, to be happy. I want people being happy. I want them to get their goals. I want them to be the light of the world that they were meant to be. But I certainly do not use it as a Band-Aid. I used to, and that's where I failed so many times. And when my coaching clients start doing that, they can attest to the fact that I call them on it and I say, stop this, stop this. You're destroying your chances of ever healing in your life. You are not progressing. And then I usually ask them to list 12 things that they are pissed off about and do some screaming. And that pretty much grounds them. Okay, so like I mentioned before, the most pervasive drug in the world is toxic positivity. Hopefully, you interact with a lot of people in all walks of life, all ages, all religions, all creeds, all colors. And you come across people who just, they tell you how wonderful their life is, and you're going, huh? Meanwhile, their child seated in the carrier is screaming. And children, by the way, reflect the state of the parent. So I look at both of those things and I know that this woman is feeling really bad, angry, feeling overwhelmed, doesn't know the way out, and is utilizing the drug of her choice, toxic positivity. I'm writing a book, as most of you know, the title of which will not be discussed. It has 4 F's, or is it 5 F's? And my plan is to have it out by Thanksgiving, which is appropriate, self-published, and it's got about 20 chapters, each one titled For Impact. And I decided to make a chapter about toxic positivity. And it's going to be entitled, Shove It Up Their Effing Asses with TP. And right now you're probably laughing. It's going to be that kind of book. So, any more questions? In terms, gene codes, in terms of admitting you're in a shitty place, in my opinion, is the bridge to the next quantum leap you are about to make. This work is exhausting. It's only exhausting, Gene, because you're holding it back. You are resisting the change. And you have to surrender to the new state, meaning you cannot control anything about it. The state moves you at its speed, in its way, and you don't know which ends up. You've got to trust. You've got to have faith. And you cannot bliss in it, okay? If you are in that state, thank God you're in that state. And just let out a scream, relax, and tell God, I'm ready. You take control, God. Okay, Lee Kleiner says, this is so refreshing. Yeah, isn't it? For years, I was afraid of negativity and the love and light movement. Well, the love and light movement is pretty damn scary, okay? It's terrifying. It actually emphasizes negativity. There's nothing more negative than a positive person, believe me. Okay, Heidi Marie Ngimi, how does one forgive themselves? You realize You realize the original sin never really happened. You are not separated from God. You're not separated from your brothers. And that the whole thing is made up. You own it 100%. And you simply laugh. And you realize that you're doing this unto yourself. And that's all a dream. It's all made up. And then you turn around and you give unconditional love and acceptance to everybody. Even somebody with a last name starting with a T. Okay? Okay. Virginia Winslow, revision, revise self. Get nitty gritty and forgive yourself. Only self to change. Cool. Didn't know you had a YouTube. Love it. And your authentic, no BS approach. It's the way I am, whether people like it or not. Don't buy it. Got all I need. Thanks, but no buys. I love it. Thanks, Virginia. Virginia Winslow again. TP. Oh, you have TP for my bunghole? Yes. Oh my God, I love that word. Bunghole. Maybe I'll use that in the book instead. Lee said, out your shadow so he loses power. Yay, Lee. Exactly. Call it. Just call it out and say, I know damn well why that narcissist just took a pot shot at me. And that is because I just leaped another step. And that brings up all, my thought of, uh-oh, God's going to get me now because I'm standing up even taller. And every day that I wake up and get on the board and there's a narcissist, and there usually is, I am so grateful. Not in a TP way, but I just know damn well that I've threatened somebody. And by the way, guys, you live life to unconditionally love and accept yourself in every single way you can imagine. Being a BITCH or a BASTARD, knowing that you cannot harm someone because you're just an actor in their script. There's no harm. This is a no-harm universe. It's all made up anyhow. And when it comes to blaming people, oh, blow smoke up your nose. I'm so tired of people who say, oh, they did it to me. And do not take that away from people. Just say, no, they didn't. You're 100% accountable. And go get a drink or whatever. Take a pill. Don't call me in the morning. So, let me see if there are any more. I don't know how to operate this. There. Thank you, guys. And I think I've handled this great topic. And I am going to write about it in my book. And if you have any more questions, you can put them underneath this video. That's going to be posted not only on my YouTube channel, but also on Manifesting Mastery and also on my Facebook. So thank you. I love you all. I genuinely mean that. And especially when you have a bad day. Bye now.